Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, October 7th, 2015. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says he is not about to play electoral politics with salary increases for public servants and teachers. Dr. Gonsalves told journalists here earlier this week that when he says that he will be able to give the teachers and public servants a wage increase next year, it is not because of a hidden political agenda, but because all signs suggest that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is headed towards an economic growth for 2016, and that will be the suitable time to give them the increase they so much desire.
The government cannot afford $25 million in addition to all its other monthly expenses. I hear the talk, well, you're borrowing money to build airport, borrow it to pay the civil servants, but that's not a responsible statement because you don't go about borrowing money for recurrent expenditure. You borrow money for capital expenditure. That's the last time when we had a discussion. I said I can't afford half either because that is $12.25 million, a one shot. I know what I have to pay monthly, you know. They said, can't you say any number? I said, believe me, I will do my best, but I cannot now tell you a specific number. And I also said to them, do not for one moment think that I am going to play electoral politics with any salary enhancement, because that is not my style.
The Prime Minister says, like everyone else, he's also concerned about people in their retirement years, noting that while it is okay giving bonuses and one-off payments while the economy is thriving, in this current economy where the difficulties in the world economy is affecting growth in SVG, he still has to be mindful that it is always better to give an increase that could be added to salaries so that persons can receive the benefits from their pensions. The PM says despite the claims that public servants have not received any salary increases over the last 4 years, that is not true, and that the issue of contention is about wage. The Prime Minister notes that 60% of public servants receive increments of 2.5% annually as part of the incremental system, which he says to this date is only practiced in one other Caribbean besides St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
For a young person in their 20s or 30s, even their 40s, they may prefer a one-half lump sum. But what about the person who is 52 and supposed to leave at 55? Or the person who is 57 and supposed to leave at 60? You see the kind of things which going through my head. People say, oh, I got one half. It costed me 25 million, which is 8.5. So I want the people who are on the verge of retiring to know that they're also in the head of the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And when I tell you I'm doing my best, I'm working numbers, you know. And the people know that I've always done well by them. And it is not true that that the teachers and public servants have not had any salary enhancements at all. They haven't had any wage increase.
A government MP for South Central Windward, Saboto Caesar, is calling on young people to get ready for the jobs and other opportunities that are coming. Caesar, who was speaking at a meeting of his party in Diamonds last Sunday, said with several of the projects, including the Argyle International Airport, that are coming, there will be a number of jobs available for the youth. He called on youngsters to get themselves prepared for the surge of prospects by becoming fully trained and certified.
With our Argyle International Airport completed, you will see hundreds more jobs open for the young people. Young people, get ready. When the geothermal project begins in the construction phase, hundreds more jobs will be made available. Young people, get ready. We have started the exportation of tissue culture planting material from the tissue culture lab in Orange Hill. And we will commercialize the operations. Therefore, we will need far more than 60 young persons working there. Young people, are you ready?
Caesar, who's leading the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, says by the year 2020, he's pushing for his constituency to have at least one doctor in every area. He also called on the youngsters to grab the various scholarships available.
We want more doctors in Sanssouci, Vatali Caesar. I hope that you are hearing me. We want more doctors to add to the 2 recently returned in Lauders. Trish, who is here, we are waiting on you. And when you think I'm finished, Radisha Lavia in Montgranan, we see that you are getting yourself ready. Comrades, I just want to stick a pin here to say something. Medical doctors of South Central Windward, 1 doctor per village minimum by 2020 is our goal. We already have 13 persons comprising doctors and doctors in waiting in South Central, and we have only 12 villages.
The opposition New Democratic Party's candidate for the North Windward constituency, Lauren Sharabatis, is accusing the operators of Garifuna Radio of being biased in their coverage of events. At an NDP meeting last night in Magam, but he says he spoke with the manager of Garifuna Radio about his concerns of not getting coverage for his political events and other activities in the community as others. But he says he was advised by the manager to write to the board and he is waiting to see the response.
I say, fine, well, I'll write to you. I'll write to you. And next week, Wednesday, I expect Garifuna Radio to be carrying it live because if they don't carry it live, all hell will break loose in this place. You tell me what Garifuna Radio, what are they doing? Apart from covering ULP, all ULP activities, what else are they covering? We have sports taking place, competitions after competition taking place at the London playing field, and Garifuna Radio is covering nothing. We had graduation from the secondary school just a few weeks ago, and Garifuna Radio is not covering that. Huh? But they could only cover the ULP activity. But I tell you, next week Wednesday, everybody in Sandy Bay and all over North Windward will be able to listen.
But he also advises the youth not to be hoodwinked by the love that the ruling Unity Labour Party administration is claiming to have for them.
And they will pay thousands of dollars to bring in artists. Why? Because the ULP can't turn up and say, look, to the young people of this country, we are going to have an activity and we want you all to turn up. They must bring something to attract the young people. They must bring something to fool the young people. What I'm saying tonight to the young people, don't be used by the ULP. Every election, them fellas here have no shame, you know. They're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But this time, it is not going to work.
And former principal of the Georgetown Secondary School and the NDP's candidate for the North Central Windward constituency, Ken Johnson, is calling for a revisit of the education curriculum under the ruling ULP's Education Revolution initiative. Johnson says many students have been victims of the hastily implemented education programs.
If you're going to send everybody, regardless of their level, regardless to where they're at, in terms of their standards in reading and mathematics and so on, you must revisit your curriculum in order to provide for every single individual so that each person can develop his area of intelligence. I keep saying, and I will say it tonight again, we don't have any dunce people in this country. Everybody is bright in one way or another. And what the system has been doing for years and years and years is that we have been neglecting other forms of intelligence. We have been saying everybody is supposed to be an academic. So we put everybody in this one box and expect to provide or produce one kind of product. We are saying in this party that we must revisit our curriculum in order to cater for every single student. Then, the very famous expression, "no child left behind," would take on new meaning, only under an NDP administration.
The NDP candidate also pointed out that he is concerned about the poor state of some medical facilities in the country. He told supporters in Magum last night that some of the monies being spent on building materials could have been utilized to improve these facilities.
The rooms in which to do these things are not so fit for it. And then the other thing is that the drugs that are needed are not there. You know what one said to me? Say, it is so painful sometimes to stand there and watch people die who could have been saved had the right medication been there at the hospital. And listen to this. This is a problem at a time when the Prime Minister finds it convenient to spend over $13 million to bring in lumber and steel and galvanize and cement. To do what? To do what? To do what? 10% of that, 20% of that, 50% of that would have been able to adequately supply drugs for our medical services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Things as simple as bandages, painkillers, strips to test your blood sugar levels and all of that. These are things which the common man has to provide for himself and take to the hospital.
Adrian Dean, a 61-year-old businessman of Brighton, has been slapped with 3 separate charges for the offense of human trafficking of persons to this country. Dean is accused of luring 3 Jamaican nationals into this country between May 11th and September 30th, 2015 to work for him, during which time he proceeded to exploit them. As a result of what transpired, the matter came to the attention of the police, who conducted an intense investigation, after which the charges were laid against the businessman. On Tuesday, October 6, 2015, Dean was escorted before Senior Magistrate Carla James at the Kingston Magistrate Court. Court prosecutor Eglin Richards had no objection to his bail, which was allowed in the sum of $80,000 with one surety. The businessman was also ordered to surrender all travel documents to the court, to report to the Calico police station between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mondays and Fridays, and is not to leave the state without the express permission of the chief magistrate. He is expected to reappear at the Serious Offences Court on Monday, October 12, 2015, to have a date set for the preliminary inquiry. The Lions Club South has officially launched its 2015 secondary schools public speaking competition, which will be part of the independence activities. The preliminaries of the competition is expected to begin from next Tuesday, October 13, and will go on until Friday, October 16, where 6 schools will present their topics from the 4 zones at specific locations. President of the Lions Club South, Michael John, says he hopes that the competition will help to foster a desire in the young people to do research, which will help to extend their knowledge and understanding of the current issues affecting the Vincentian population. John says that this year's competition promises to be bigger and even more memorable as compared to the other 25 years it has been taking place. He further commended the sponsors for their involvement in providing an incentive to the youths of SVG to develop their communication skills, which he says will play a great role in preparing them for the working world.
The main objectives are to develop the public speaking skill of secondary school students, to raise the awareness of young people and the nation at large of current issues. 3, to broaden the scope of our activities as Lions. 4, to stimulate an attitude of research amongst young people. And 5, to provide a forum for discussion of issues of national interest. And you will see, based on the topics that are assigned to the schools, that we are destined to meet our objective. We are expecting the usual high standard of competition throughout the 4 zones, right up to the finals, which will be held on November 5th.
Lime SVG Limited, the platinum sponsors of the competition, donated $15,000 at yesterday's launch to the Lions Club South to go towards the coordination of the event. This year, Lime has announced that they've increased the value of the prizes, in that the top 3 winners will receive a 2-year scholarship along with a cash prize. The winning school will also receive $3,000 to fund ongoing projects. Wayne Hull, the country manager of Lime, says the event is part of the difference that Lime tries to make for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that the company is happy to make such an investment to positively impact the students, which would help to make them better rounded individuals.
But I'm here today to sort of announce that Lime is really solidifying the partnership with the Lions Club for the 2015 school public speaking competition. As you've seen, our support for this year's competition will be in the form of a financial contribution towards the club for coordinating the event, and that is to the value of $15,000. As was done in the past, we'll also do presentation of prizes to the winners and all of the finalists of this year's competition. These prizes would be as follows. And we have sort of, well, I have sort of increased the prizes and the quality of the prizes this year. So all 6 finalists will receive a gift of a tablet or a high-end smartphone from Lime, along with free superfast broadband internet and mobile 4G data services. All compliments Lime. So I wish each and every student participating in this year's events every success.
Representing the gold sponsor of the event, Jabisha Prince, says that the National Insurance Services, the NIS, embraces every opportunity to forge public partnership with institutions such as the Lions Club South. Prince says education ranks very high on the NIS agenda, and the Lions Club commended the Lions Club for hosting the event each year.
The NIS is pleased to co-sponsor this event for the very first time because we consider it a major part of our commitment to social development. I wish to pay particular attention to our young students who will be participating in this year's Lions Club South public speaking competition. Public speaking is an essential ingredient for effective communication and participation in adult life. It is inextricably linked to social outcomes such as community participation, engagement in lifelong learning, and health. And since these are our future leaders, then they must develop the art of speaking in public. I therefore wish to congratulate the Lions Club South for organizing this competition for yet another year. Nothing is wrong with healthy competition. As a matter of fact, it has become a way of life woven into our culture in varied forms such as school beauty pageants, school calypso competitions, and so forth. Once again, accept our heartiest congratulations and best wishes as you participate in the 2015 Lions Club South public speaking competition.
And member of the Lions Club South Junior backers told the participants to get ready themselves and urged the various media houses to play their part in helping to motivate the nation to begin discussion on the issues which will be addressed during the preliminary phase of the competition.
So we are all ready, and I hope that the media will help us to mobilize the communities behind this year's competition to motivate the students to really take this very serious. In this hard time $1,600 for 2 years to take you to the community college is a welcome help for the parents. So parents need to support their kids to compete. Don't make it a dog-eat-dog. It is all good, healthy competition. But at the end of the day, let us see a very worthwhile secondary school public speaking this year.
The finals of the 2015 Schools Public Speaking Competition will take place on November 5th, 2015 at the Methodist Church Hall. In other news, Learning for Living yesterday introduces a new program to the Vincentian public. Manager Kemisha Williams, who started the company 2 years ago, said the new program is called Next Gen Essentials, which is designed to equip young people and willing adults with a variety of technical and career skills which are considered to be essentials for the life and work of the next generation. Williams said that the aim of the program is to harness skills while preparing the participants for the changing job market of the 21st century or considering a new startup enterprise.
4 main things that we wish to accomplish. We want our young people to improve their skills, because these are skills that some of them would have had already. So if you did IT at CXC, for example, you would have written some code in Pascal and things like that. You know how to program a little. So we want to improve on these skills, because most likely you just rushed that SBA to pass it in for a mark, or somebody did it for you. Secondly, we want our learners to build their resume and to learn to market themselves, because it's very important and can take them beyond these shows. Thirdly, we want to see our learners develop a new hobby, especially even the adults. They could just, you learn Photoshop from our graphic design course, and you take pictures and you just make new things, and you probably make things of people's walls and so, brochures and all that. So we want to see our learners develop a new hobby that can actually generate income. And finally, we want to use Next Gen as a springboard to jumpstart a new career, or so that our learners can start a new business.
The Next Gen Essentials program starts on November 9th with registration on October 17 and the orientation session scheduled for the end of October. Vincentian Michael Charles has been appointed to the post of Assistant Legal Officer at the Commonwealth Secretariat's headquarters in London, England. The post is a junior technical position within the Commonwealth Secretariat and is expected to commence in mid-October 2015 for a duration of 2 years. During this period, Charles is expected to contribute to the Commonwealth's 4-year strategic plan and to undertake significant research and authority worked on comparative legal policies, papers, speeches, and presentation on associate issues within the legal Commonwealth world. The Commonwealth announced its Young Professionals program in October 2014, where suitable qualified young people from Commonwealth member countries will be given the opportunity to contribute to the Commonwealth's work in international development and democracy, and to build their skills in its culturally diverse professional environment. Charles is currently undertaking his Masters in Cooperative and Insolvency Law from Nottingham Law School and a Certified Fraud Examiner's accreditation from the ACFE. He was called to the Bar of England and Wales in 2012.